Hello everyone, I'm Prathir Samatpanyakang. I'm a senior law student of AUPP and Suchita Panait is my researching partner in this video. In this video, I want to talk about the case of Cambodia versus Thailand in 2011. So we will start with a brief historical background, then we will talk about the issues and ruling of the case. Then we will go through the reasoning of this case, and finally we will talk about our conclusion. So let's start with the history of this case. In 1904, while Cambodia was still under French protection, France signed a treaty with Thailand regarding the watershed line of Cambodia and Thailand. The results of the treaty included a map entitled Dong Rai Commission of Delimitation between Indochina and Siem, which is also known as the Annex I map. A year following Cambodia gaining independence from French, particularly in 1954, Thailand occupied Previhe Temple, which led to a series of unsuccessful negotiations between the two nations. Because of the results of the negotiations, the two parties brought up the issues to the International Court of Justice in 1959. The ICJ ruling during the time included three operative clauses. The Temple of Previhe is situated in territory under the sovereignty of Cambodia. As a consequence, Thailand is under an obligation to withdraw any military or police forces or other guards or keepers stationed by her at the temple or in its vicinity on Cambodian territory. Thailand is under an obligation to restore to Cambodia any object of any kind specified in Cambodia Fifth submission which may, since the date of the occupation of the temple by Thai in 1954, have been removed from the temple or the temple area by Thai authorities. Following Cambodia's request to interpret the 1962 judgment, Thailand was on the view that the court left the term vicinity of the temple in the second operative paragraph undefined, and that Thailand could unilaterally determine the limit of the vicinity. This belief is evident in the 1962 resolution of the Thai Council of Ministers, in which the resolution determined the limit of the vicinity of the temple. Although in implementing the 1962 judgment, Thailand erected a barbed wire fence on the area along the line described in the Thai Council of Ministers resolution, the record before the ICJ shows that Cambodia did not accept Thailand's withdrawal as fully implementing the 1962 judgment. In fact, Cambodia protests Thai presence on territory which Cambodia claimed the 1962 judgment recognized as Cambodian. Cambodia also contends that the barbed wire fence erected by Thailand encroached fairly significantly upon the disputing territory against the 1962 judgment. The tension between the two nations escalated in 2008 when Cambodia attempted to list Previhe Temple as a World Heritage but faced challenges from Thailand. This new disagreement led to multiple gunfire opening between the two countries from 2008 until 2011. Ultimately, in 2011, Cambodia filed a request for the ICJ to interpret the term vicinity in regard to its judgment in 1962. For the issue, the court recognized that the dispute between both parties regarding the meaning and scope of the 1962 judgment related to three aspects. The first dispute is related to the meaning and scope of the phrase vicinity of Cambodian territory. The second dispute is whether the 1962 judgment did or did not decide with binding force that the line depicted on the Annex I map constitute the frontier between parties in the area of the temple. Lastly, the third dispute is on the nature of Thailand's obligation to withdraw imposed by the second operative paragraph. Regarding the disputes mentioned above, the court considered Cambodia's request for the interpretation of the 1962 judgment admissible and that the court has the jurisdiction to entertain Cambodia's request according to Article 60 of the ICJ. As of the ruling of this case, the three questions in which the party requests for the court judgment. The court rules that for the first issue, the court found that the first operative paragraph that says Temple Pravihir is situated in territory under the sovereignty of Cambodia, and the second operative paragraph requiring Thailand withdrawal of its military or police forces or guards or keepers from the temple vicinity would refer to the promontory of Pravihir. For the second issue, the court did not consider it necessary to address the question whether the 1962 judgment determined with binding force the boundary line between Cambodia and Thailand. For the third issue, the court did not consider it necessary to address the question whether the obligation imposed on Thailand by the second operative paragraph was containing obligation in the sense maintained by Cambodia. Moving on to the reasoning of this case. In reasoning the first question concerning the vicinity of the temple, the court recognized that there is uncertainty as of the definition of the vicinity of the temple in the second operative paragraph. The paragraph did not expressly indicate the temple's vicinity from which Thailand was required to withdraw its personnel, nor did it state to where those personnel had to withdraw. Thus, the court looked at the evidence that was before the court in 1962 regarding the locations at which such Thai personnel were stationed. Professor Ackerman was the witness, and he testified that he only saw a detachment of Thai frontier police and one temple guard. He further told the court that the police was stationed at a camp to the northeast of the temple, and the guard lived in a separate house close to the west of the police camp. The court considered that when the court required Thai to withdraw military or police forces, guard or keeper, which it has stationed in the temple or in the vicinity of the temple on Cambodian territory, it must intend that obligation to apply to those police detachment and guard because there was no evidence of any presence of other Thai personnel anywhere near the temple. Thus, the court determined that the term vicinity of Cambodian territory has to extend at least to the area where the police detachment was stationed at the time of the original proceeding. As of the location of the temple, it is located on an easily identifiable geographical feature. It is a promontory. In the east, south, and southwest, the promontory descends by a steep escarpment to the Cambodian plain. In the west and northwest, the ground dropped into what Professor Ackerman described it in his evidence as a valley between Phnom Trop Mountain and Pravihir Mountain. The court considered that a natural understanding of the concept of the vicinity of the temple would extend to the entirety of the Pravihir promontory. Then the court invalidated the Thai Council of Ministers' interpretation of the temple vicinity in 1962. The court made it clear that the promontory of Pravihir ends at the foot of the hill of Phnom Trop. Using the Annex 1 map in the north, the limit of the promontory is the Annex 1 map line, from a point to the northeast of the temple where the line abuts the escarpment to a point in the northwest where the ground began to rise from the valley at the foot of the hill of Phnom Trop. Turning to the question of whether the 1962 judgment determined with binding force the boundary line between Cambodia and Thailand, the court only concerned with the sovereignty over the promontory of Pravihir in this case. The court concluded that the promontory extending in the north to the Annex 1 mapped line, but not beyond it, was under Cambodian sovereignty as the court already addressed in the first question. In conclusion, even though the court decided unanimously that the promontory of the temple was within Cambodian territory in 2013, the judges published 4 different declarations regarding their opinions. The court decision in this case would mean that Thai was under an obligation to cease all military actions along the territory. However, even if relations between the two nations have improved marginally in 2014, it seems that very little progress has been made on the two parties. There still seems to be some tension along the border, as the number of troops only began to reduce in 2015. This is the end of this video. Thank you for staying with me until the end, and I hope this video would be helpful for you.